Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. Winks here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get the Puppy Paw Stick so you can duplicate your gear and the innocence in your gear. But as you can see, I just got 2 of those items. Welcome back to the channel, homies. Today I'm here to bring you another Disgaea video. First things first, before we get started, like always, if you haven't already, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen one of my videos before, I always put the timestamps down below for anybody that's looking for a quick answer. Today we're talking about Disgaea 4. I'm going to be on Disgaea 4 probably for another couple, 2 or 3 videos. Personally, if you've played Disgaea 6, then you probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm doing Disgaea 4 now because, in my personal opinion, Disgaea 4 is better than Disgaea 6. And if you're like me, you probably agree that they just don't make things the way they used to. And although Disgaea 4 is an older game, it is still a gem nonetheless in the Disgaea series. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. In today's video, like I said earlier, I'm going to be talking about the Puppy Paw Stick. I'm also going to be talking about reverse pirating, and I'm going to go into that a little bit to kind of explain the innocence and the statisticians that I brought up in an earlier leveling video. And then I'm going to show you a demonstration on how to duplicate your gear and those innocents in it. So for the first thing that we're talking about today, the Puppy Paw Stick, as you can see here on the screen. Why are we talking about the Puppy Paw Stick? Well, if you haven't played Disgaea 4 and you're wondering why, the answer to that is the Puppy Paw Stick, as you can see from the screen, is it has this innocent on it, this unique innocent called the Cat Burglar that has a chance to steal an item when you defeat them with a normal attack. Now, at first this may not sound like a big deal, but in Disgaea 4, this has a huge impact on your gameplay because you can create duplicates of your gear. And you can also create duplicates of the innocents that are in it. Now, in my earlier leveling video, I kind of spoke on this a little bit, but I didn't go into detail about it. Today, we're going to go into detail about it. So, the Puppy Paw Stick is actually a little bit easier to get it, but it is a little tedious to get it, if that makes sense. The concept is what's easy and understanding on how to get it. Man, it is purely chance that you end up with this Puppy Paw Stick. I actually have 2 of these, so you can get multiple of these. And there are a couple different ways to get this. But today I'm only going to show you the way that I did, the way that I followed to get this. If you do your own research and you look this up online, you'll see that there are a couple ways to do this. But I'm going to show you what I found to be the easiest way. I'm not gonna show you the level spirit collector and all of that, but I am going to show you how to get this from the discipline room. So to get started, the first thing that you have to understand is in getting this, there's a few things that need to happen. As always in Disgaea, there's a series of steps that you got to follow. So for the Puppy Paw Stick, this is what you got to do. So first things first, you need to capture a level 1000 Nekomata, which is that cat character that I talked about in my leveling video. That's first, and I recommend that you have the highest tier of that character unlocked. And what I mean by that, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is, let me go back here for a second, is this right here. The highest tier. So I recommend that you have the highest tier unlocked for this when you're capturing. Also, another thing that you're going to need is you're going to need the discipline room to be unlocked. I don't remember where I had it stored on here, but I do have it, which is down here. Now, keep in mind with this discipline room, you need at least a level 1000 Nekomata that we're going to be capturing. And the characters that are in this discipline room that are stationed here on this symbol, they need to be stronger than that. Whatever whatever you're capturing, the characters in that symbol, the discipline room, need to be stronger than the character that you're capturing. So keep that in mind when you're doing this method. So if you don't know how to get the discipline room is unlocked by throwing 3 enemies. It's pretty simple, and it usually unlocks as you're going through a normal gameplay. Like me, I didn't even recognize it when it happened. It just unlocked. You're also going to need a character that has the Impaler drop move, and you're going to see why when we go to the stage and I demonstrate this to you. But this, as you can see on the screen, the yellow tile is where your character ends up landing after you do the ability, and that's going to place us outside of an area where we're trying to catch this Nekomata. So it's pretty simple. Those are the things you need. On top of, you also need the X dimension guide unlocked. Now, in order to unlock this, what you're going to need to do is spend some time in the item world, and you need to find a mystery gate that has the vendor that sells these promotion hell tickets. Now, in order to get the Nekomata that we need, you're going to need the very first Dimension X map. And if you look at the bottom, when you're buying these tickets, they are pretty pricey, so you're going to need some HL too. But it tells you the name of the level that you're after. So when you're looking for the promotion hell tickets, if you don't have a lot of HL, the first one you probably need to focus on is the one I'm about to go to now, which is going to be the reincarnation site. So the first thing you need to do once you've got all that squared away and you're good to go on that is you're going to come here, and I recommend that you turn the stars up on the cheat shop to get this character above level 1000, because I think with the stars at 0 it's only like level 600, not quite what you need. So just turn the stars up to like 10 stars on the cheat shop and you should be good to go. But once you come here, you're going to bring that character out that I talked about earlier, and you're going to use his Impaler drop, and you see it's going to place him right outside the green tiles around this character, because those are no entry tiles. So that's going to force him on the outside of that. So you just Impaler drop, execute, and then land right outside, and then move away from the Nekomata, and then end your turn. And then for the next step, what you're going to do is you're going to pick this up, and now that effect of no entry is now gone. We're going to bring a second character out. We're going to lift that Nekomata, and we're going to throw them into the base panel, and that should capture them. That's the first part of doing this. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we are going to go down to the discipline room, and we are going to punish this Nekomata, or discipline, and I use the massage chair. So you have the option of take an ally, and then now what we're looking for is that find treasure is available that you saw pop up. Now once you see that, what you need to do is you need to save your game. You need to go out of the discipline room and you need to save your game. Because the key word for this today, in today's video, is reset. We are going to be resetting a number of times in order to get this Puppy Paw Stick. So now once you've saved, you need to go back into the room that we were just in. You need to go back to that character. Then you need to select the negotiate and find treasure. Now what we're looking for when I pick this option is we're looking to hopefully see a Dimension X map mentioned. Now the more tickets you have, obviously the better. So like I was saying earlier, when you need the first Dimension X map, really and truthfully you probably want all of them in order to find the treasure, but you need the first one to find this Nekomata that we are disciplined. So we're going to find treasure, and luckily it's a Dimension X map. So if it were not a Dimension X map, all you would do is you would just quit the game, go back to the main menu, and reload your game, and you'll be right here where you saved. But because we found it, we're going to skip that part. We're going to go to the Dimension X map, and as you can see, there is a treasure chest located where we are trying to get this treasure. So we're going to go ahead and go to that map. And hopefully this treasure chest has the Puppy Paw Stick that we're looking for. So we're going to repeat the same steps that we did earlier. Move over here because I still need to get that treasure chest. Just going to lift this again. And then I'm just going to take a character over here and I'm going to destroy this chest. Now, whatever's in this chest and whatever it gives you is completely random. You can get ship parts, you can get a number of things. You can get money, all kinds of stuff, gear. If you don't get what you want, you can just reload the stage and keep trying to do it. Or if you get a ship part, you can just keep the ship part and then go back through the process of capturing a Nekomata and disciplining them and getting another treasure chest. Either way. Let's see what we get though. So now we got a ship part that time. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that part and just end the match by killing this Nekomata. But to get the Puppy Paw Stick, it is completely random. But this is the steps that you would take. Just keep in mind, you want to make sure that your chest ends up on a Dimension X map. And if not, you just close your game and reset. Maybe this time we'll get lucky and get that Puppy Paw Stick, because after you've done this so many times and you've gotten all the ship parts, then it just kind of narrows down what you can get a little bit more. So pick this block up, bring our other character out, and we're gonna break the treasure chest again and see what we get. See, I got a random item, and if that happens, you can just retry the map, and hopefully you get something different, something worth it, like that Puppy Paw Stick. You see it changes every time you do it. Yeah, so anyway, if you follow that method, hopefully one day you can get a Puppy Paw Stick too. So with the interest of time, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next part of the video, and we're gonna be talking about reverse pirating. So reverse pirating is specifically when you're trying to either level an item a little bit further, which I'll save for another video, or when you're trying to find a specific innocent. And in this particular video, we are looking for a statistician. So also, when you're doing this, if you're at this point in Disgaea 4, you need to be looking for a guardian as well. I say guardian because that's going to be crucial when we get to the item leveling portion of this process, specifically for the trap that you're going to be going after. But for today, I'm going to again show you the statistician part in this reverse pirating process. So the way that it works, and I'm going to show you a couple things here. Your rarity of your item determines how far and how many times you can reverse pirate an item. And to make it basic, think of it like this. So the common item, you can go into, I believe, 40 levels deep into the item. Rare, I believe, is 60 or 80. I'm not quite sure on that number because I don't really bother with rare items that often in the item world. And then with a legendary, you can go about 100 floors into it. And the way that it works is every 20 floors you can go into an item determines how many times you can basically reverse pirate an item for every 20 floors you go into that item. So if you can go 100 floors into a legendary, you can reverse pirate it 5 times. That's why I recommend a legendary, a low-level legendary that you don't really care about, just specifically for getting these statisticians. You also want to make sure before you start reverse pirating that you make room for that innocent with an enforcer. So I'm going to show you the enforcer real quick and how that works in case you don't know. So basically how that works is you put an enforcer on there with the unsubdued innocent that you have in there. And for this one, we have this coach that is there. And I'm not going to go into this item, but I am going to show you how the enforcer works. So you put the enforcer on there, on that item, and in your case, it would be the one that you're trying to get the statistician from. But just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you. And then after that, you're just going to transfer a resident. So you go back to that item with that enforcer. You select where you're transferring from, and then you select where you're transferring it to. And then you pick that innocent that you're trying to move. And in this case, it's that coach that we put on there. There's the enforcer, there's coach, and then you just select it. And now it's been forced out of that item because of that enforcer. And as you see on the screen, the enforcer count for that innocent went down by 1. It was 10, now it's 9. So every time you move an innocent that's unsubdued, you take away from that enforcer. Now for the reverse pirate part of this process, like I said, with a Puppy Paw Stick, you want to make sure you have saved like right at the NPC for the item world. And you're going to pick your item that you have leveled. In this case, I have the 39 Yoshisuna. I haven't quite went 100 floors into it. I'm short by 1, but if I had, it would be, I'd be able to go into it 5 times. Now, we're going to be looking for the statisticians specifically. You could get lucky, you could get it on the first try, or you may have to reset a few times to find it, but basically it's the same way. Now, your ship that you have put together also determines how long you can stay here. I'm not going to show you that part of the video, again, for the interest of time. But once you have subdued that statistician, you have to make your way over to it and subdue it before the timer runs out. Then you're going to clear the room. And then once you've cleared the room, you will have all the innocents that you have subdued before the timer runs out. So we're just going to load one time real quick. You'll see those innocents over there on that platform, and you'll want to try your best to get over there once you find a statistician and subdue that one. So let's just look real quick, see if we got a statistician on those. Oh, and there's one right there. So we got lucky, and it was on the first try. So what you're going to want to do is make your way over to that statistician, subdue that statistician, and then finish your level in this reverse pirate level, and you should have that on your item when you're done. So for the last part of this video, now that we've went over the Puppy Paw Stick and reverse pirating, now we're going to talk about the duplication process, which is why you are getting those items. So duplicating an item is by far the quickest way to get your statisticians and other innocents leveled up. It is not the only way, but it is by far the quickest way to do it. But that process is way too slow compared to this one. As far as the duplicating goes, though, once you've gotten your statistician and you've gotten your Puppy Paw Stick, you need to create the battle suit character, and you need to have equipped one item to it. And I've created 5 here because with the Puppy Paw Stick, and you'll find different information, that Puppy Paw Stick has a very small percentage of duplicating or stealing an item from a neutral enemy when you use a normal attack. And the more that you have of those essentially just creates more chances to duplicate that item. So if it's 10% chance to duplicate an item, now I've got 5 characters, that's like 50% chance almost. So that's why I have these characters created here. And the reason you want to create these characters and assign them an item is because they have an ability called Run Wild, and that makes them a neutral unit. So when you would destroy them with your own character that's holding the Puppy Paw Stick, you can duplicate whatever item they are holding, and that also duplicates the innocent that they are carrying. And in this specific instance, I do not have the statisticians on here because I've already leveled my statisticians up with this same method, but I do have some other ones that I am trying to get, such as more enforcers, managers, witch doctors, lumberjacks, all kinds of them. So I've equipped each one of them with a specific innocent, and they pretty much all have the same one. And those are the ones that I'm duplicating. So once you have all those innocents transferred to the gear and you've assigned that gear to those battle suits, you are then going to go into a low level map. I recommend map 1-1 because that's just the easiest one to do it on. And the method's pretty simple. You are just going to bring out your characters, use the run wild command or special move, and I put them all in the like a small formation here for my attack character to be able to hit them all at once. But I'm gonna put them in that formation, all using the same attack. Run wild, and then I'm gonna bring out my character that's holding my Puppy Paw Stick, and his attack matches their formation. Execute. I'm just going to skip through all that so you don't have to watch all that animation. But as you can see, I just got 2 of those items and the innocents that are in them. So once you get the items, you've obviously got to clear out the rest of these enemies to finish the stage. But you can then go into those items via the item world menu, and you can just move all those innocents from those items you've duplicated, and you can combine them to create bigger innocents. Then you can move them back to your items and repeat the duplication process. And it's like a snowball effect. The more you do that, the more you get, the more you combine, the faster those innocents will start to grow. So we've come to the end of the video here, and in summary, we talked about the Puppy Paw Stick and how you get that, what you need. We talked about reverse pirating and kind of discussed that a little bit, showed you some innocence and why we're doing that process, and then we went over the actual duplicating process, and I demonstrated to you why all this kind of ties together. I apologize if I seem like I rambled a little bit in this video. It's a lot of detail, and that Puppy Paw Stick process kind of just throws you off after you've done it 100 times or so. But that's basically how it works. I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something in the process. If you've got any questions at all, maybe you feel like something I didn't cover, just leave it down in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer that for you. Like I said in the beginning, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Winks out.